How's it going, everybody? This is Michael Mamalego, and welcome to Thoughts with Michael. Now, I'm sorry for not uploading for 2-3 weeks. I'm sorry, I forgot. I would have spent that time thinking up a good excuse, but no, I forgot. Yeah, get it over with. You done? Okay, good. So, this is the first Thoughts with Michael, and it's going to be talking about one of my favorite Batman movies. But it's not Dark Knight, though it is probably my favorite. My other favorite one is Dark Knight Returns. I was watching it recently, and oh god, that voice crack. Watching it recently, and sorry. So anyways, I was watching it recently, and I guess I decided to take more of an observational view as to why do I like this movie so much, and which part do I like better, part 1 or part 2. I'll give you a quick summary of what happens. This is going to be the kind of no spoilers part. I'll try my best not to spoil it because it's a good movie. So anyways, in part 1, Batman, like, it shows, like, damn. It shows, like, Bruce Wayne, like, 10 years after he retired as the Batman. Okay, that's one part I don't like about the movie. It doesn't really explain why. Sorry. It doesn't explain why Batman retired, exactly. I think what it is, because I haven't read the comic book myself, because it's an adaptation of the 89 comic, or 84, one of them. But it's an adaptation of the comic, by Frank Miller. The movie didn't explain why he went into retirement. I mean, you can imply, like, if you've seen, Under the Red Hood or something Red Hood, I guess you can imply that it's after, Robin dies, and that's not a spoiler, he literally dies in the very beginning. Yeah. That's a bit of a way to start off. I will say, I really like the first 20 minutes, because there's a lot of atmosphere build up and everything, and, like, the music's really good in it, and, the movie is shot, and it reminds me of anime, like Japanese anime, like the way, like the style of it's very similar to anime to me. After, like, then there's these, mutants, like, they're called mutants, and that's another thing. They don't explain where they come from, but I don't think the comic did either, because I tried looking them up, like, where they came from and everything, and, you know, there's not really an explanation to where they came from and everything. All you need to know is they're, pretty bad. As in, they murder children bad. Yay! Yeah, they're pretty bad. They even literally say that they're the worst, they're the worst criminals that Gotham has had since the Joker. So then he finally comes out of retirement and everything, then he starts beating up all the mutants, then he gets a new Robin? I don't remember what her name is, but she's like some high school chick. Okay. That's not creepy. At all. You know, like a 50-year-old working with, like, a 17-year-old.
Not creepy at all.
Anyways, then they get into a junkyard fight, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna really spoil anything other than the fact that Batman uses a f***ing tank. A tank! And then, next thing you know, the mutant beats the absolute crap out of him, but Batman ends up winning, and then, yeah.
Important story stuff.
I don't remember what happens in between the fight. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention that, like, they also show Harvey Dent. I'm not gonna explain too much about him, because it's actually kind of cool. They finally get to the final fight. The mutant leader presumably dies? Or at least gets beaten the hell out of so badly that he, like, stops moving or anything, but I'm gonna assume. Nah, he's dead. So then finally a second part comes along, and part 2, I don't think it's as good in certain aspects as the first one was, like atmosphere, but I will say one thing that that both parts had, especially part 1 that they had, they use news segments, like they cut to like think of it as a news flash, like, oh, this just in, Batman has returned, oh! Basically. It happens a lot, and it gets kind of tiring, and it kind of not kills the pacing, but drags it down a bit. It's kind of cool the first or second time, but after a while it gets kind of boring. And I mean, it worked a lot better in the comic book, because I know the comic book used it a lot in that one, but it worked a lot better in that one. I wish they used them a lot more like in the bar scene in the first one, because like they kind of just look up at a TV that's showing what's happening. Like, what's happening to the mutants. I wish they used it a bit more like that or something. So the second part starts up, and it opens up with, I think, Joker? Yeah, like, Joker finally comes into the picture. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's already starting to go back to his criminal ways. What a shock. The voice of the Joker is actually pretty good. What was his name? Michael Henderson? 1 second. Kitty, you're sitting on my phone. Oh, never mind. Emerson. Michael Emerson, that's his name. Oh yeah, the voice of Batman's Peter Weller, who is actually a pretty good choice, in my opinion, because he manages to capture that old one. I'm sorry about the cat just staring at it.
I will feast on all of your souls.
So, yeah, Michael Emerson's, and he's a good one. Not quite as good as Mark Hamill, but he's pretty good. Okay, this is one part that I don't like about part 2. They kind of split it into also like a semi two-parter thing. You got one half the Batman story with like the Joker part, which is really good, and then the Superman Corto Maltese, which isn't quite as strong. The Cold War thing, like it's not as good in some parts. It's pretty much just unneeded. The second part drags on a lot more than the first part, personally. So then those two go on, and I'm not gonna spoil the Jokers and the Corto Maltese, like. It's honestly so forgettable, I forgot everything about it. I'll just cut to the chase. A nuke goes off, weakening Superman, and then, like, after the Joker fight, no spoilers, Batman's really beat the hell out of, so he's not doing very well. So then they decide to have a showdown, I guess just because. Because why not? Because the government told me to. And they have authority, even though I'm pretty much a god from Krypton who can, like, destroy, like, the entire planet without anyone having to stop me. That's basically Superman. That's the main thing I don't like about him. He never thinks for himself. From the previous Superman movies, he didn't do that. Here he's just... ugh. They're adapting the comic, and I guess he was like that in the comic. So, anyways, then they decide to have a final showdown, which, for all the things I don't like about Part 2, the final fight between Batman and Superman, I think it's better than what Batman vs. Superman movie is gonna be like. I think. Or I could just be desperately clinging on to nostalgia. Either way, I think it's better. Like, those 20 minutes are better than what probably, like, an hour and a half is gonna be. I'm not gonna really spoil the ending either, but... hey, you know what's great? Batman dies. But not because of Superman. If you watch the movie, you'll find out, then, yeah. So, that was basically the movies, and overall, I like Part 1 in places a lot better. Like, for the atmosphere and the tone and everything, I like the first part better, and aside from some weird pacing with the news story segments, it's kinda off in places. In both parts. I feel like the first part is, like, more build-up and everything, then the second part is more action, which I really like. The action scenes in the second part are really good. The Joker fight's personally my favorite, and the Batman-Superman fight is really good as well. For sheer scale, Batman-Superman, but for some reason, I really like the Joker fight. For the action scenes, I like Part 2 a lot more, and for the tone and build-up, I like Part 1. I think I like the first part better, personally, because, I don't know, I just feel like, because, like, it didn't tell you a lot more, you had to think and imply a lot more, like, why Batman went into retirement. So, that was my, so, anyways, I keep saying so anyways so many times, or so, yeah, it's annoying me, it's like I keep saying so anyways, or so, yeah, like, so many times, and it's bothering the hell out of me. So, anyways, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Bye.